Earlier this week, 2 Ohio high school football stars were found guilty for raping their classmate who was unconscious from alcohol at the time. She only learned later that she'd been raped when photos and videos were posted on social media. The case has divided a community and shocked the nation, but this crime can happen anywhere. So we've asked attorney Kristen Chesson and Kristen Cassidy from Family and Youth Counseling Agency to discuss this case. Thank you both so much for being here with us today. This case really gripped a nation, and I think because, like we said, it can happen anywhere. This can be your daughter, your son, your school. So let's talk about the mentality, first of all, where these boys, it went a couple of days without it even being reported, and a lot of people came to their defense, and many people said it was because they were football superstars. What about that football superstar or athlete superstar mentality?
In my experience, I've just seen that the higher up you are on that kind of hierarchy, you just tend to have a lot more connection. So it's a lot easier to get the representation that you need, to get somebody on your side, and that's hard for people on the outside to see and understand how that works.
And we're really excusing I mean, we have NFL football players that have criminal records and they're gods and they seem to get away with it. So a lot of people are saying she shouldn't have gotten herself into the situation. She shouldn't have been that drunk. She should have taken better care of herself. What would you say to that?
It's true. I think that's something that a lot of parents do. I mean, it's true to an extent. I think that's definitely something that parents need to be talking to their kids about, that if you get yourself into a situation where you don't have full control over your actions, it's important to be aware of what others are capable of doing to you whenever you're not fully in control.
Now, one of the shocking things about this crime, Chris, is that there were bystanders. People sat back and they watched this happen. The DA now is saying he's going to go after those kids, those people that watched. How does that work in the legal system?
I would think that absolutely they could be charged as accessories to the crime and charged, you know, in the crime itself. I mean, also people that viewed it after the fact could be charged with accessory after the fact. People that received the emails or stuff like that, when they delete them, not only could they be charged with decimating, you know, pornography, maybe even child pornography, but even the destruction of evidence by deleting emails and stuff like that and not reporting them.
So it really seems like we need to sit down and talk about this event with our kids, because there are 3 things that can happen. Our child can be the perpetrator. They can look at this girl and say, she's drunk, but hey, she's not fighting me off, so it's okay. Then we have the people that stood by, and then we have the girl herself who really put herself in a dangerous situation. So what should we be telling our kids?
Well, I think covering all 3 of those things, making sure that kids know, like I said before, what people are capable of doing to them when they're not in a position where they have control, to make sure that they maintain control over their actions as much as possible. But then also to other kids who are going to end up being witnesses. It's probably far more likely that kids are going to be a witness as opposed to a victim. A lot of kids don't know that they can be liable if they don't report that sort of thing. A lot of kids also don't know that they can report that sort of thing, that they're allowed to speak up and say something if something to them just doesn't feel right. They don't have to know that it's wrong. If it feels wrong to them, it's okay.
So it really sounds like we need to empower our kids.
Right.
Absolutely.
And we just have a couple of seconds left. What happens? These boys, they're teenagers, they made this awful decision. They're going to prison. What happens to them as adults?
If they were charged as an adult, they're charged as an adult. I mean, if it's a sexual crime, I mean, many states have reporting requirements that can last as long as 10 years or longer, where they have to report that they're a sexual predator or, you know, been convicted of a sexual crime. Depending on the state and the laws of the state, people that are convicted of a felony, if they plead pursuant to certain article as first-time offenders, in Louisiana it's called Article 894, if they complete their probation successfully, they can clear their sentences in some cases, especially when it's not a sexual offense.
So there you go. We're going to leave it there. Thank you both so much for being here
yeah.
with us. It really is a serious topic we need to talk about.
Thank you.
Thank you.